Oh yeah. Is it Tuesday already? Do we have to wait for just a few more hours? Just a few more hours until the next episode of The Acolyte. Finally, the penultimate episode, we are finally going to get answers to all these questions about what the hell went down on Brendock all those years ago, 16 years ago, with all the witches. Who killed the witches? Was it the Jedi? Was it not the Jedi? Is Sol a big fat liar? Or is Qimir a skinny, ripped liar? We got a lot to get into today, and a new Star Wars animated TV show. Wow, we got a lot to get into, so let's dive into all of it. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing on this fine Tuesday afternoon? What's up, chat? Let me open up the chat so we can say hi to everybody. But we got episode 7, the penultimate episode. We got 2 more episodes left of this Acolyte show in about 7 hours. So start the timer, 7 hours until the show starts. But let's talk about some predictions. Throw your craziest predictions for this 7th episode in the chat right now or forever. I guess not throw your predictions in the chat. Let's say hi to everybody in the chat. Thomas, what's up? Fearless, how we doing? Kay, what is up? SW Connor, how we doing? Dead Mike in the house. Starship 66, how we doing? Jack Robbins, what is up? Tiffany, how we doing? Galaxy Love, what is up? Mando United, how we doing? Brandon Baker in the house. Brady, what is up? Maria, how we doing? John Frag, Cody, Agnes, sorry. Fearless, what's up? Skywalker Academy, how we doing? Dodger, what is up? Paulie, how we doing? Chris, how we doing? If I miss you, you know the rules. Just yell at me in the chat. You get the gist. Okay. Let's talk about this upcoming episode of The Acolyte. So we left off in episode 6 with Sol about to tell this crazy story about what really happened 16 years ago on Brendock with the witches. Who killed the witches? I think we're finally going to get the answer to that question tonight, as Qimir is probably going to be telling Osha a story, and Sol's going to be telling probably a very similar story with a little bit of a twist on it to May. So we don't know who's telling the truth and who's not, but we do have a leaked title for tonight's episode, and we have a leaked runtime for tonight and the finale's episode as well. So we'll dive into all of that, but hang on. If we don't get answers tonight, we riot. I'm down for that. I'm definitely down for that, for sure. Brady says, Mike, you should turn on audio descriptions for one of your rewatches because it reveals stuff. Wait. Turn on audio descriptions for one of your rewatches because it reveals stuff. What? I don't know what that means, but yes, maybe, possibly.
Hello there.
Yes, okay. This episode was directed by sure. So it's definitely going to be going to be present in another point of view of a flashback to Brendock. Yeah, so it's the same writer and director, I believe, as episode 3, which was all the flashbacks and all that other stuff. Yeah. The next week is the finale already? Yes, next week is the finale. This is the second to last episode. That is true. That is true. So a lot of people think tonight is when we're getting the flashbacks to Brendock, as we've seen in the trailer, Kel Naka fighting against Master Sol and Master Torben. But we'll watch the trailers in a second here. We'll watch the trailers in a second, because there's actually a lot of footage that we haven't seen yet, and there's only 2 episodes left. And that's not usually the case when it comes to these Star Wars shows. Indeed. If it sounds like I'm dying, it's because I am. I'm losing my voice. I have a cold. I know. I apologize. I actually drove here like over 2.5 hours on vacation, and I'm going back on vacation after tonight's watch party. So if I die on stream, it's a way to go out, you know? It's definitely a way to go out. Okay, let me put up a poll in the chat. If you guys haven't smashed a freaking like on the stream, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Star Wars Santa in the house. What's up? What is up? Okay, let's start up a poll here. Do you think, this is going to be an easy one. Do you think, I can't write. Do you think we get flashbacks tonight? Flashbacks, why can't I type? Flashbacks tonight. What do we think, yes or no? Don't die. I won't die. It was a joke.
This is where the fun begins.
Star Wars Santa in the house. Okay. Do you guys think we're getting flashbacks tonight? I mean, where else are we going to get them? In the freaking finale? It's happening tonight. And oh my God, 100% of you guys so far are saying yes tonight. And I agree with that. I definitely agree with you on that one. But let's take a look at the scenes that we have not seen yet from these trailers. Oh my God, that piece of hair is really pissing me off. Let's fix that. Okay, let's let's watch the trailer scenes that we haven't seen yet. Oh my God, I got really tan. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. So there's a few scenes here. Yeah, all right, let's go to this trailer. This was one of the latest trailers we got for this show, but it was already over a month ago, I believe. Yeah, over a month ago we watched this trailer. But this is the Kelnaka stuff. Well, that's very quiet. Hang on, let's turn that up. Turn it up. That's it. That's it. Okay, let's run it back, run it back. That's it. Did you catch it? All right, let's slow it down and take a look at this. First of all, Kelnaka's eyes are all blacked out. We know this because in episode 3, Torben's eyes were all blacked out when he was possessed by the witches. Makes sense. Kelnaka's probably going to be possessed by the witches, and that's why he's fighting against the other Jedi, against Master Torben and Master Sol. Now, how does this end? Well, we know that it ends with all the Jedi remaining alive, as we see Torben, Kelnaka, Sol, Indara, all alive and well 16 years later in the current, at the beginning of the Acolyte show. They all end up dying. Kelnaka, Torben, and Indara all end up dying to May or Qimir, but they are alive and well after the events of what happens here on Brendock. All the witches, on the other hand, end up dying. Is that because of the Jedi? We'll get to that. But this is what we're going to be seeing tonight. A Wookiee Jedi in action. Yes, Force jump. A lot of fans were complaining about this. When Kelnaka died in episode 4 at the end, they were complaining because we got a Wookiee Jedi in live action and we didn't get to see any of him actually in action. And now we're going to get that tonight. We're going to get Kelnaka, hopefully, in some massive fight sequence on Brendock. Jedi versus Jedi. It would be awesome. Hopefully, it's not just a very short thing. Hopefully, we get to see it play out. But so far, when it comes to the fight sequences, the choreography, all that stuff in this Acolyte show, it's been incredible. So I'm hoping for Kelnaka to really go insane in this 7th episode. But we'll have to wait and see. But we are getting this tonight. I mean, unless they really want to wait until the finale, which doesn't make any sense to me, but I think we're getting this tonight, as a lot of you on this poll do as well. But yeah, so how is this going to end? That's what I ask you. How is this going to end? We know the witches die. Are the Jedi the ones who kill them? Is that really what's going to go down here? The Jedi, the keepers of the peace, are going to murder a whole coven of witches. Is that what we think is going on here? Dominic, what's up?
Hello there.
I don't know if that's what actually happens. According to Osha, she thinks that the fire that May started is what led to the death of her entire family. And she watched as May plummeted to her death, and so did Sol. And Sol was only there to rescue Osha. We still don't know how May survived that. But is it possible that Qimir was present for this? Did he see what happened? Because he clearly knows about what happened all those years ago. Did May just tell him? Or does he actually know himself? There's so many unanswered questions when it comes to this 7th episode. What truly happened on Brendock 16 years ago? We've been asking these questions for weeks and weeks and weeks, and just more questions keep coming up. But I feel like tonight we're getting all the answers. And I mean all of the answers. Star Wars Santa says, I blame Mother Coral for all of it. Okay, so that's actually a great point. Let's talk about that. Mother Coral, of course, the Zabrakian witch, she was the one who wanted to fight the Jedi. Mother Anisea was like, no, we can't do that. If we kill 4 Jedi, then the rest of the Jedi Order is going to be coming after us. So we can't do that. And Mother Coral was like, let's go kill them all. So it's possible that when the Jedi arrive, Coral kind of starts it. It's kind of pointing fingers. You started it. No, you started it. But it's not going to matter who started it. It's how it ends. The Jedi killed all of the witches. Into Osha and May, that's the only thing that matters. That's their entire family. That's their entire lives. Osha specifically has been lied to for the last 16 years by the person that she trusts most, Master Soul. And that's going to be this huge switching point. Have her probably fall to the dark side, which we saw a little bit of last episode. You're going to see a lot more in this episode. And by the finale, she's probably going to kill Soul her freaking self. Osha's probably going to do it, which is wild. I really don't know how this show's going to end. Is it going to be the bad guys win because it's called The Acolyte? I don't know. But it doesn't look like it's going to be the Jedi looking like the good guys. It's just not. Plain and simple. Osha is going to believe that the Jedi have lied to her her entire life. Pretty much. The majority of her life. And Soul, specifically, her father figure of Master Soul, been lying to her entire life. Soul is sus. That is the understatement of the night, Brandon. Soul is sus. Yeah. We need a Qimir origin story. I wouldn't mind if we got some flashbacks to Qimir as well tonight. Because Qimir's backstory is almost just as important. And we got a little bit of it in the last episode. He reveals to us that he was once a Jedi. And that is probably the most important thing he said this entire series. That he was once a Jedi. And he doesn't say that it was just a long time ago. He says it was a really long time ago because Osha doesn't even remember him. And Soul doesn't remember him either. And Soul's a lot older than Osha too. And Soul's been around the Coruscant Jedi Temple for as long as he's been around, since he was the age of 4. So the fact that neither of those two characters recognize Qimir means he could be a lot older than we assume. Now, we talked about this on Thursday's live stream, about how maybe, just maybe, the waters on this mysterious unknown planet that was revealed in episode 6 could be keeping Qimir looking younger. And that could mean that Qimir could be anywhere from 40 years old to 140 years old. Really, could be as old as he wants. The power of 1, the power of 2, the power of so many questions, yeah. But if that's the case, the theory that's been running wild for the last week now is that Venestra Rho was Qimir's former master. I made a video on this probably Saturday, Friday, something like that. Venestra Rho is Qimir's former master. And the reason that this theory came about was because of the scar on his back. When you look at this, let me zoom in on it really quickly. Perfect. Okay. When you look at this, usually in cinema or in television or whatever you want to call it, when you see a scar on someone's back, it's usually because they either got stabbed in the back or it's because of a whip to the back. And who has a whip in Star Wars? Well, nobody except for one freaking character named Venestra Rho. And she's also the only character who's sensing any sort of shift in the Force. Nobody else is sensing it. Not Soul, not the High Council, because we haven't seen them yet. Not Ki-Adi-Mundi's big ass head. But Venestra Rho is the only one sensing it. Is it possible? Is it possible that Qimir is Venestra Rho's former Padawan? We're going to pull this one up. I want to pull this up because the last poll is, wait, what? With over 100 votes, this has never happened. This has actually never happened. With over 100 votes, 100% of us, not 99 to 1, the math is mathing, ladies and gentlemen. The math is mathing. 100% of votes say yes, we will be seeing flashbacks tonight. And yeah, I mean, that makes sense. We only have 2 episodes left. The flashbacks have to happen at some point. That seems obvious, but let's be real here. The Star Wars fandom has never been 100% on anything, even if it was the most obvious thing in the entire planet. That is incredible. That can't be understated. Okay, let's move on. New poll. Do you think Qimir, we'll phrase it like this. Vernestra. Do you know it's Vernestra and not Venestra? I'll learn that one the hard way. Vernestra. And now I'm going to spell it wrong. I know I am. Vernestra. Close enough. Do you think Vernestra is Qimir's former master? Well, I can't type or speak or spell or do anything. Do you think that Vernestra is Qimir's former master? What do we think? What do we think? Oh, David with the very generous $5 holla. I appreciate that. Says, I agree that Qimir, or another Sith, was on Brendock and helped create the witches and causes the witches' death to cover their trail, and mess with the Jedi. Okay, let me hang on. I agree with that. That Qimir or another Sith was on Brendock and helped create the twins and cause the witch's death to cover their trail and mess with the Jedi. Okay. Well, that would either make Qimir a lot older than we think he is, or it would lead to another Sith being introduced, possibly Tenebrous being the master, or possibly Plagueis being the master. I'd probably be leaning more towards Tenebrous at this point, but you never know. But I don't think the Sith had any sort of help, or I guess they didn't help at all, in creating the twins, and here's why. I think in Legends, of course it is just Legends, so take it with a giant grain of salt, but in Legends, in the Darth Plagueis novel, the way that Anakin is created is because the Force is rebelling against Palpatine and Plagueis, trying to manipulate the midichlorians and create this dark side thing. And that's how Anakin comes about. He's the chosen one. Now, I think if a light side user tried to do a very similar task and create this all-powerful light side being manipulating the midichlorians, the Force would probably rebel and create a dark side being. So I think when it comes to the witches, because they're kind of in the middle of this, I don't even know what you want to call it, light, dark, they're in the middle somewhere. They're not fully light, they're not fully dark. So they're in the middle somewhere. So when they went to create these Force beings, they popped out two different, or twins, I guess, one being evil and one being light to keep the balance. That's my theory on it. I'm probably going to stick to it, but I do appreciate the $5 holla, David. You know I do. But we shall see. You could be right. You could absolutely be right, and I could be wrong for sure. Not for sure, but 5 sure. All right, let me scroll back up here because I completely lost my place. Yes, audio description describes scenes for the audience with, okay. They need, that's why we can get more descriptions of these scenes. But I'm not showing the scenes if that's what you're saying. I don't know. I'll look into it. I'll definitely look into it. Yeah, I will. John Frag says, why do you think the Qimir is the apprentice of Tenebrous and at the end of season 1 will die? That's a great question. I put this in my video over the weekend. I do think it's Tenebrous now. And there's a long story behind this, but I'll skip to the good parts. We got this planet, this unknown planet. I have it right here, actually. This unknown planet in episode 6. Dun dun. Unknown planet. Oh, wow. We all thought this was Octu. We thought it was Luke Skywalker, Rey, the last Jedi, the prime Jedi, the first ever Jedi temple. We thought this was Octu. We thought we were going to be seeing porgs. We thought we were going to be seeing some familiar places. But that didn't happen. This is a different planet entirely, or at least a different island if it is on Octu still. But I think it's a different planet entirely. And the biggest indicator of that was in episode 6, when Osha, in the final scene, looks over at the wall and sees the cortosis ore that makes up Qimir's helmet in the wall. That means that this planet is rich with a metal called cortosis. And if you go to Legends, yet again, I'll look this up right here. There's a planet known as Baldemnik. Now, Baldemnik or whatever you want to call it, is a planet from, again, guess what? The Darth Plagueis novel. And this planet right here, look at that nice clear picture that they got for it. It's an ocean planet with rocky tropical islands in this system in the Outer Rim. Sound familiar? A rocky planet, ocean planet, in the unknown, not unknown regions, the Outer Rim. Sound familiar? But the craziest part is that it's rich with oh, wait, what the hell? It's rich. Why is it doing that? It's rich with cortosis. Okay. Cortosis ore. It's rich with cortosis ore. And that is a direct indication to this planet that the Darth Plagueis and Darth Tenebrous, Master and Apprentice, stumbled upon. Not really stumbled upon, but they were on for quite a long time in the Plagueis novel. This is actually where Darth Plagueis kills his master eventually, kills Darth Tenebrous eventually, and takes over the reign of being the master. Now, in Legends, all that takes place at around 67 BBY, so after the events of this Acolyte show. And that's what leads me to believe that the current time with the Acolyte show, Tenebrous would be the master, Qimir would be the apprentice. By the end of the show, Qimir dies, and Plagueis becomes the new apprentice to keep in line with all these dates. Now, again, you might be saying, Mike, dates change all the time from Legends to canon. You're absolutely right. So it could be that Plagueis is the master. It could be that Tenebrous is the master at this point, but we just don't know. We don't know until we see it. And I'm just purely basing my predictions off of what we know, and that is Legends. And we know that Legends isn't canon. So it could really go either way. But you guys tell me. Who do you think's the master right now to Qimir? Plagueis or Tenebrous or somebody else? Because some people have been throwing some crazy theories out there, I must say. Yeah. Indeed. Yeah, I know. I gotta stay hydrated for sure. I think episode 8 will be a jaw-dropping ending. I agree with that, Thomas. I actually do. I think we will get some sort of cliffhanger. I know we talked about how Leslie Headland said that it's going to be a definitive ending, and all of her ideas sort of went into season 1. But I think we will be getting some questions left unanswered for a second season of this show. Indeed. Tony says, Soul converts May to the light side, and Qimir converts Osha to the dark side. So we're just going for like an Uno reverse kind of switcheroos type thing. I could see it. I could definitely see that. For sure. Harry says, what if neither Plagueis or Tenebrous is the master? That is a possibility. I'm not going to just throw that out of the realm of possibility because it is. I just certainly hope it's not. I hope they don't just completely throw away all the Legends material and try to do their own thing. I'm hoping that they learn their lesson from the sequel trilogy to not do that, but we'll see. We shall see for sure. Summer colds are the worst. Yeah, they are. Defo, okay. Defo flashbacks, but I'm hoping that we get at least 5 minutes at the end to set up episode 8. Yeah, so I had that question too. Do you guys think that tonight's episode will be entirely flashbacks? Now you might be saying that's impossible because they got to tell some story in the current day, but episode 3 was entirely flashbacks. Entirely flashbacks. So it really could be that this third episode, that 7th episode coming up is just all takes place on Brendock and tells the story. 95% flashbacks? Maybe. Maybe the beginning is not flashbacks and the end is not flashbacks, but the middle is. Think of The Mandalorian Season 3, the, what the hell's his name? Dr. Pershing episode that took place on Coruscant almost fully. At the beginning of that episode, we get Bo and Mando. At the end of the episode, we get Bo and Mando. In the 45 minutes in between, we just hang out on Coruscant with Dr. Pershing. I think we'll see something similar to that where we get a introductory scene and an exit scene, but almost the entire rest of the episode is probably going to be flashbacks, if I were to guess. 69% nice. Nice. I think it should all be flashbacks, really. Really. Let me show you guys this. So we got some, I guess, leaked, for lack of better word, leaked runtimes for these episodes 7 and 8, and leaked titles. So we're going to go over both. They don't spoil too much. That's why we're going to go over them. I don't think they reveal too much information. So if I thought they did, I wouldn't be talking about them. But we do have revealed names and runtimes. So I guess if you really, really, really don't want to know, you can fast forward 30 seconds. So let's take a look at the runtimes first. And again, take this with a giant grain of salt. I don't know if they're true or not, but take it with a giant grain of salt. Okay, so this is coming from Star Wars Only. Actually, they're just reporting on it. But it says the runtime for the Acolyte episodes 7 and 8 are both 43 minutes each. 43 minutes. Now, it doesn't say with or without credits, but the last 2 episodes, or last 3 episodes I believe we got, have been around 35 minutes. So this is about 8-ish minutes longer, give or take. Is this long enough? My question to you is this long enough? Too short? Oh, no. How many minutes are the credits? Now, I don't know if this is with credits or without credits. I could not tell you that. 8 minutes of credits. Not long enough? Okay. If it's not long enough, then here's my question, my follow-up question. What is long enough? I feel like we have this conversation with every single Star Wars project that ever comes out, from Ahsoka last year to the Bad Batch earlier this year to now the Acolyte week in and week out. What is long enough? 90 minutes? 50 minutes? Interesting. And again, I'm going to bring it up again because we do it every freaking time. We go to the other runtimes, and you look at some of the greatest Star Wars episodes in television, and you look at their runtimes. Let's take a look at episode 5 of Ahsoka, The Shadow Warrior. Shadow Warrior was 52 minutes. Okay, that neglects my point. Oh, you guys can't see that. 52 minutes right there. But let's keep going. Star Wars. Go back. Where's Mando? Mando. Look at some great Mando episodes. So this is season 3. Oh, this is season 3. Let's go to season 2. Episode 5, one of the best episodes, is 48 minutes. The finale is only 48 minutes. That's, of course, with Luke Skywalker. See, that premiere was, I mean, with the crate dragon and everything, that was pretty bomb. And that was 55 minutes. Let's go to season 1. The premiere was 41 minutes. The finale was 50 minutes. So we're around this 40, 50 minute mark. And that's what these Acolyte final 2 episodes are saying. Let's see what else we got. Kenobi. No, Kenobi's were longer because it was only 6 episodes, right? Ahsoka. Oh, maybe Book of Boba Fett. Hang on. Where's the Book of Boba Fett? They're hiding Boba. Oh, there he is. Did you guys hear Qimir Morrison saying he wants to do more Boba Fett? What do we think of that? All right, this is one of my favorite episodes of all time. From the Desert Comes a Stranger. It introduces Cad Bane into live action. It has Luke Skywalker training Grogu. It's got Ahsoka talking to Luke, her former master's son. And that's only 48 minutes. So, again, we're still in that same time zone as seemingly these last 2 episodes of The Acolyte are supposed to be. So my question to you is, what is long enough and what is too short? What is long enough and what is too short? There has to be some sort of time. Is it 90 minutes? Is it 60 minutes? Is it 45? Is it 30 minutes? Like, what is the time? What is the exact minute length that has to be for you to be satisfied? 45 would be solid. Under 40 minutes is too short. Okay. Well, this is over 40 minutes. 43 minutes. And this might be without credits. That's what she said. Thanks, Golden Child. I appreciate that. Yeah. Chris said, "Let me go ask my girlfriend to see how long is too long, and see what she and what's too short." Yeah, go do that. See what she has to say. 50 minutes? Okay, so anything under 50 minutes? 22 minutes were what each episode of the Clone Wars and Rebels were, and I liked all of them. That's true, but when it comes to animation, it's a little bit different because it's 22 episode seasons, not 8. Yeah. 45 minutes to 48 minutes is good. Under 40 minutes is too short. So it sounds like the consensus here is under 40 minutes is too short. But over 40 minutes is good. 60 minutes with credits? That's a little long. I mean, episode 7 should be 45 and episode 8 should be an hour. Interesting. Here's my take on this, okay? I think it has nothing to do with runtime at all. I honestly think it has everything to do with the story itself, because you can have an hour-long episodes that's completely trash, or you could have 30-minute episodes that are just straight incredible Star Wars. So 43 minutes sounds pretty damn solid to me. 1 minute is too long? Oh, okay. Thanks, Stu. That's very helpful. Yeah. So I think 43 minutes sounds pretty great to me. Now let's talk about the titles of these episodes. Again, take it with a giant grain of salt because they might not be true, but let's look at this. The two episodes, episode 7 and episode 8, are titled episode 7, Accept/Honesty, and episode 8, Doom. What do we think about that? What do we think about that? House of the Dragon has 55-minute episodes. They are long and they work. That's true, but it's a little bit different. House of the Dragon is obviously not Star Wars, and it's coming off of the back of an 8-season show that did the same thing before it. And it also is based off of a 60-minute slot on cable television. So that's a little bit different. What do we think about these titles? Obviously, Accept/Honesty is another play off of episode 1, episode 2, and episode 6. Where last week's episode was, what was it? Train and Corrupt? Was it Train and Corrupt? It was something in Corrupt. What was it? Teach and Corrupt? Was it Teach and Corrupt? Something like that? I forget. But I think it was Teach and Corrupt, right? Somebody in the chat helped me out. It was Teach? Yeah? So, Teach and Corrupt, obviously, Qimir is either teaching Osha or corrupting Osha from a certain point of view. Soul is either teaching May or corrupting May from a certain point of view. So this is a very similar take on that, where it's Accept/Honesty. Is Qimir telling the truth? Is he being honest with Osha? Or is Soul telling the truth and being honest with May? Or are they just accepting the lies that they're being told? And that episode 8 being called Doom, what the hell does that mean? Dr. Doom will appear. Tony, sign me up for that. It was Teaching Corrupt. Thanks, Dominic. Doom? What the hell does Doom mean? That really doesn't make much sense, especially with the current, just, you look at where the show's going. How does Doom really, what does that mean? Who's meeting their doom? The Jedi? Soul? Qimir? Vernestra? Osha? May? What does this mean? That's my big question when it comes to Doom. Doom doesn't really make much sense in it. Doom? Darth Doom? Yeah, I hope not. Oh, wait, maybe Chimir's name, Darth Doom? That would be kind of cool. Kind of cool. But it would be too close to Dr. Doom, if you ask me. Too close to Dr. Doom. Yeah. I don't know. What do we think? Is that good? Do we think those are good titles? I think, honestly, Accept/Honesty is cool. I just want to know what Doom means. I like Doom as a name. It's cool. It's badass. But I don't know what it means. Doom means Plagueis? How so? The Knights of Ren? How does that mean, the Knights of Ren at all? Qimir must die in the last episode? I think either him or Soul must die. Because Soul knows about him. And he can't be going back to the Jedi and telling them. He can't be. So he has to die. Or Qimir has to die. And it has to be revealed that Qimir is working by himself. Let's go back to the Vernestra Row thing, okay? Since the poll is still up here. And by the way, 74% of you guys do think, yes, Vernestra is Chimir's master. So let's talk about that. This could be the reason that Vernestra is the only one who senses that the scales are unbalanced and there's some evil coming. That could be why, because she's the master of Qimir. That would make a lot of sense. But that would also mean that this is master versus apprentice and master versus apprentice. If Osha falls to the dark side, that means she's going to be facing her former master in Soul, and Qimir will now be facing his former master in Vernestra. And that will not only make for an incredible final showdown in the finale, but it will also mean that Vernestra is probably going to die in this show as well. She's over 100 years old now. She was born in 250-ish BBY, 100 years before the events of this Acolyte show. So she's very old. And it seems like she's probably going to die, because she's obviously not around during the time of the Phantom Menace. So I have a feeling that she could die. And I want to see Qimir kill a couple more people because he's so badass. And it was so cool to watch in the 5th episode. And I think Vernestra is probably the way to go, because that's his former master, the person who stabbed him in the back, literally. So that would be pretty damn cool if I do say so myself. But what do you think? What do you think? Vernestra has a purple lightsaber. She's evil. I don't know if that indicates evil. I mean, Mace Windu wasn't evil. Yes, he tried to kill Palpatine, but that's a different story here. Yeah. Everybody gets killed by the moths. I'd watch that. I'd definitely watch that. Mother Anisea is confirmed in this episode. What are you talking about, William? I didn't see that. There are many possibilities of who Qimir is. Venomous. I don't know who that is. I do know who Venomous is. I don't know who the next person you said is. And even Plagueis himself. Okay, let's talk about that. I've seen this theory many times in the comment section over the videos over the weekend. Do you guys think it's possible that Qimir is actually the canon version of Plagueis and they just changed his species? Think about it. Really think about it. Plagueis is a Mun. We know he's a Mun. But they could have changed that. That's not canon information. The only canon image that we have of Plagueis is just this hooded, shadowy figure with glowing eyes, glowing Sith eyes. And that's it. I'm going to, first of all, preface this with I hate this, and I really hope it's not true. I really, really hope it's not true. But the more I think about it, the more possible it becomes. It's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. This is clearly something that could happen. He's extremely powerful with the Force. He's a dark side user, of course, but he's not a Mun. And that's my biggest issue. I don't think they should change the story of Plagueis at all. But we don't even know Qimir's name, and there's a reason for that. Qimir was just his alias from when he was just a pedestrian, and we just keep using it because it's a way to talk about him. But his real name right now, currently, is The Stranger. We don't know his name. So it could be that by the end of this series, it's revealed that his name is Darth Plagueis. And I want to know what you guys think about that. Would that be the end of the world if he becomes the canon version of Plagueis? Because let's be honest, he's become a fan favorite character. I mean, if you look at online, Qimir has become a fan favorite character. He's so badass. And in episode 5, he's snapping people's necks and nobody cares. They're like, oh my God, this guy's awesome. He's like one of the best villains ever. Is that going to be good enough to make him the canon version of Plagueis? I don't think so. I don't think so. But tell me what you think in the chat. Tell me what you think. All right, where was I? Fran says, Osha is going to face Sol after learning the truth about what happened, and Qimir will face Vernestra. I like that. I really do like that. I hope that's sort of like the final showdown in the finale. Masters versus apprentices, former apprentices, fall into the dark side. That would be pretty cool, if I do say so myself. Tenebris is powerful too, Mike. Yeah, Tenebris is powerful. He's also a Bith. But again, they could change that too. Abby, what's up? Hal Runner Base, you're not wrong. But, I mean, yeah. Do you think there is no shot from the... Wait, do you think there is no shots from the trailer in episode 8? Maybe. There are a few other shots from a different trailer that I want to show you guys that are from probably tonight's episode and episode 8. And let's take a look at this. This is coming from a trailer from over a month ago again. So that's it. Hang on. It was really quick. But this is the first thing I wanted to look at. This is Master Torben with his face all scratched up from Kelnaka. And this is Kelnaka's furry hand, or it's Indara's, but she just grew a lot of hair. I don't know. No, it's Kelnaka's hand. And he's clearly trying to kill this man. We know he's probably being possessed by the witches, but this makes for quite the cool fight sequence that we're going to see tonight. But that's Torben's face being all scratched up. This is Sol. I believe... Actually, is this him? Is this from episode 3 when he's catching Osha? Or no? I actually don't think this is. I think this is a new scene that we haven't seen yet, right? Somebody pointed out something crazy to me, and this was pretty wild. Why does Soul always wear gloves? And at first I was like, does he really? I didn't even notice. And now I can't not notice. Every scene that Soul has, he's wearing gloves. And it's really pissing me off because I want to know what he's hiding under those gloves. But let me back up here. This is a new scene. Yes, this is a new scene. So what's going on here? It looks like there's a dead person behind him. And I remember somebody a long time ago saying they thought that was Indara, but we know Indara survives this. What's going on here? Osha tried to save May and Soul tried to save May and Osha? Could be. His hands covered just like Dr. Hemlock's? Yeah, people with their hands covered don't seem to be very trustworthy when it comes to Star Wars. That's the thing, Brady. All right, there's another frame after this, I believe. Yeah, so this. We've seen this sort of chase throughout this ice belt or glass, whatever it is, glass or ice it looks like, through space. This is probably Qimir. In a separate trailer, if I can find it really quickly. In a separate trailer, actually the original trailer that we got for this series, we see this same chase through space between Qimir and Soul. Let's take a look at this. Oh, doesn't want to play. Okay. Oh, we didn't see that scene either. Indara waking somebody up from after the fight.
Destiny is not decided for you by an anonymous force.
That.
If you want to pull the thread and change everything.
Huh, I thought we got a better look at that in this one. Oh, maybe it's here.
Some sort of shift to tip the scales.
Yeah, here we go.
It's time.
So this is Soul's ship. We've seen it multiple times now throughout the series. And that looks like it's probably going to be Qimir's ship. And that's some chase through space. Maybe he's leading them back to Brendock. Because we know that this is going to end on Brenock somehow, some way. As we've seen Soul from behind the scenes on Brenock. This is probably him leading back to Brenock. But this is going to be some sort of big fight sequence in space. The Acolyte has had pretty much everything throughout this entire series, from hand-to-hand combat, lightsaber to lightsaber combat, lightsaber to knife combat, all this stuff, except for a fight in space. And that's what we're probably going to see here in this sequence between Soul and Qimir, we're assuming, while they're flying through space. But this is one of the only other scenes that we haven't seen yet from these trailers. That's it. Everything else has been seen because we only have 2 episodes left and everything, pretty much everything except for this scene and the Kelnaka flashback scenes are new. Everything else. Yes. Indeed. But that's pretty crazy. I don't know where they're going. Probably Brendock, but I don't know for sure. Robert says Luke and Leia were lied to about their parents, etc. They didn't turn to the dark side when they got the truth. Ben Solo was withheld truth from his grandfather and got the truth secondhand and was manipulated by Snoke. True. So that's sort of 2 different sides to it. You're saying Luke and Leia found out the truth about their parents, which was Vader, and he turned to the dark side, and they didn't turn. That's true. But Ben Solo was withheld the truth about his grandfather, which was Darth Vader, and was manipulated by Snoke, and he fell to the dark side. It's definitely true. Qimir could be lying. Hang on. Qimir could be lying to Osha tonight when he tells her the truth, and Soul could be lying to May when he tells her the truth. Again, it's all about perspective when it comes to this Acolyte show, and I'm really intrigued to see how they go about this sort of final 2 episodes here. Because perspective is everything. Like the great Anakin Skywalker once said, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil. And that's Qimir's point of view, and that's sort of starting to begin to be Osha's point of view as well. Yeah. That's true. Oh yeah, I think Venestra is definitely Qimir's master. Me too, and so does 72% of you guys currently. Brady says he probably is the Padawan of Venestra Rowe because he words someone. What? His words someone who threw away like what? Brady, I don't think that's English. Unless my brain just stopped working, I don't think that's English. But it's sort of the mannerisms and the way that they both talk. Venestra and Qimir have so much in common. They always answer questions with another question. If you haven't noticed that, go rewatch episode 5 and 6. Everything that Venestra and Qimir get asked is answered with a question. Yeah. Jack says, so after rewatching the first 2 episodes again, May seemed so angry all the time. Well, yeah, she's feeding off of her hate and her anger to, of course, use the dark side to kill all these Jedi. For sure. That's why it's more interesting to me. Like, I can see Osha falling to the dark side. Really, really easily can see Osha falling to the dark side. May coming to the light, that's a little bit more difficult for me. I don't think that's going to be as easy. It's easier said than done. Seeing May just go to the light side is going to be difficult to do and to pull off correctly, if that's even what they're doing here. Because she was so evil. She was murdering Jedi at the beginning of this, and she's had 16 years to sort of just sit with this anger and hate for the Jedi. So I don't think she's going to turn back, but she could. I think the Sith helped the witches get to Brendock. It's not a bad theory. I just don't know if it will be true. Yeah. Oh, no. We just go down all the way to the bottom. Are you kidding me? What the heck? Melissa Skywalker with a 3-month membership badge. I appreciate that, Melissa. I appreciate it. The best way to support the channel is to become a member. And it's just 99 cents a month. And we do giveaways at the end of each month. We are currently in the middle of a month, but, you know, it comes and goes. What's the glass-like structure in space? There's not really a structure there. It's just like, it's probably a ring around a planet, honestly, or it's an asteroid belt or something like that. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm not too sure. But it's probably just some glass or ice because it is cold in space. Yeah. I wonder if that ice ring planet is going to be Baldemnik. It could be. But I think they're probably on their way to Brendock, so it also could be Brendock. Chris says, Yord didn't wear gloves when he was steaming his Jedi uniform. In fact, he was nearly completely naked, LOL. Oh, okay. What? The scene is from above Brendock, near the moons, I think. I think that's probably likely too. Cal says, who is standing behind in the left corner of Torben in the trailer with the black eyes? Who is standing behind Torben with the black eyes? Hang on. These people right here? I think they're just witches. They're holding like bow and arrows. I think they're all just witches. There's another one on the right here. The chat's just in the way. Yeah. I think they're just witches. But we'll see. I mean, they could be somebody important. But I think they're just members of the coven. My question is, even if it's true, Ron, what's up? Even if it's true that the Jedi are the ones who killed the witches, how? These witches are extremely powerful, and they outnumber these Jedi probably 3 or 4 to 1. How are the Jedi, only 4 of them, going to take down all of these witches at the same time? And all sort of in the same area, too. If you remember the dead bodies, they were all just sort of in a circle almost, or in the same sort of circular area, in the same room, except for Mother Anisea, who's in a different room. But how would they all die to just 4 Jedi? You know? John says, so Qimir is there to destroy the witches and take the twins to be acolytes, but the Jedi are there to and get in pinned on them. Get it pinned on them. Oh, okay. So Qimir is there to destroy the witches and take the twins. Interesting. You think Qimir was there to take the twins from the witches, but the Jedi came first? That's quite the theory. That is quite the theory. Good point. 4 Jedi against 100 witches. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. But tonight we're going to find out. We're going to find out tonight. That's for damn sure. Yeah. This could be one of the moons on Brendock. The blue moon had rings. That's true. I forgot about the 2 moons above that caused the eclipse. That was like the logo of this whole damn show. It's Jordan time? Okay. The space fight will open the episode tonight. You think, Darth Thor? I don't know. I don't think so, because we ended episode 6 with like story time. Soul had May tied down. It was about to tell her a bunch of stories about what really happened. And Osha had just put on the helmet. It didn't look like they were ready to leave the planet. So a lot of time would have had to pass for that to kind of be happening all at once, you know. Jack says, we've not seen a scene where all the witches have black eyes. Well, I don't think all the witches have the black eyes. They give the black eyes by using their magic. Oh, guys. I'm dying over here. Okay. Where was I? Qimir had a hidden child on Brendock, probably in his teens. That's where things get a little complicated. If Qimir is the same age as we're led to believe, which is his actor's age, which is 38, the twins, Osha and May, are 24. So he'd only be 14 when they're born. So he can't be the father unless he's a lot older than we're led to believe. But again, that's a possibility. Why Yord? Why did he die? Well, that's actually a good question. Why did Yord and Jecki die? Honestly, not only to make Qimir look badass, but to prove that he's more powerful than we ever thought he could be. Like, you have to establish immediately that Qimir is a real threat, like a real big threat to what's going on here. And that did it. I mean, him killing those 5 random Jedi was cool, but we really had to see him kill somebody important. And once he killed Jecki, we were like, oh shit, this guy's the real deal. And then once he killed Yord too, snaps his neck, like, then you really know that this guy's badass and means business. Yeah. Indeed. Thanks, Tony. That's true, but not really relevant here. Darth Thor says, what about the scene where we see Soul climbing the wall on Brendock? That is true. That is here too. Or possibly Soul, you're saying. Yeah, that's in this original trailer too. So there's somebody here climbing the walls on Brendock. I think it's Soul. Some people think it could be somebody else. But I think it's Soul.
But that piece.
And that's kind of it. You just see him climbing there.
But that piece.
I feel like we've come so long.
In the name of
We've come such a long way
peace.
since Qimir looked like this. We really have. Like the chat's kind of in the way here. Like we don't give enough credit to this guy. Okay, we got to give him some credit here. He went from the goofy, like, bum drunk dude, to one of the most badass bad guys I've ever seen in my life. Like, we need some more credit for Manny Jacinto here. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah. But yes, I don't know who's climbing that wall. I think it's probably Soul, but it could be somebody else. I think based on Soul's teaching on that second episode about vision manipulation, that Qimir's strength on fighting with sensory deprivation helmet is definitely, there's definitely a connection there. Soul's teaching about vision manipulation, like your vision could be betraying you, is what you're saying? Interesting. Yeah, there's definitely something to his mask. The fact that it takes away all of his other senses, sight, hearing, taste, unless he licks the inside of it, smell, and it's just him and the Force. He can't see, he can't hear, he can't do anything. Leo, what's up?
Hello there.
I think there's definitely something to that. Yeah, for sure. For sure. If Osha doesn't kill Soul, I'll be shocked. I'd be shocked if she does. Like, even though she's probably going to go dark side, I don't know. Mystic Troll says, plot twist, it was Agatha all along. See, that would be awesome if I had, like, one of these clip things to press that would just play that song. It would have been spot on. I watched the trailer for that. Honestly, not that excited. I think they tried to hide that some dark forces existed for some reason, whatever happened on Brendock, and that is the secret in what he wants to tell the Jedi Council. Interesting. So you think that Soul came across some sort of evil forces on Brendock, like maybe a Qimir or another Sith Lord, that he wanted to keep a secret, or that all 4 Jedi that were there kept a secret from the Jedi Order for all these years. And that's the truth he's going to tell. It is definitely possible. The easy answer to what happened on Brendock 16 years ago is that the Jedi just killed the witches. And that'll be a big revelation to Osha and to May and to everybody. But I think there's probably more to it. I think there's something else that Soul's keeping a secret. I just don't know what it is. Yeah. Liam Neeson in the house. What's up? Liam says, I hope we get Darth Revan in the finale, played by Keanu Reeves. Well, there was always that rumor from a few years ago, that rumored leak going around, that they did hire Keanu Reeves to play some sort of mystery role in this Acolyte show. But I don't think that was true. Even then, I was saying take this with a massive grain of salt, because I don't think it was true. And maybe at one point it was true. Maybe at some point they wanted to get Revan in there for a holocron or something like that, but they couldn't do it, or whatever it may be. I don't know. Yeah. Harry says, do you think the episode will be like, do you think this episode will be the most game-changing yet? No, because I think episode 5 was the most game-changing yet. We went on a complete 180 turn. There was only very, very few content creators and even just people in general online speaking positively, easy for me to say, about this show. But episode 5 comes around where it's pretty much a masterpiece, one of the greatest things from Star Wars we've seen since ever, and that sort of changed the whole narrative when it came to this show. So the biggest game changer, no. But I do think this episode can be on that same level of good and could really boost some confidence here going into the finale. Yeah. Jordan Summer, what's up? Jordan says, how in the world was the truth of Darth Vader hidden from Kylo? It makes no sense at all. Well, Leia leaves or gets booted out of the Republic, the New Republic, because of her connection to Vader, because she is the daughter to Vader. Snoke being in his ear, obviously. I don't think Luke was probably telling Ben that his grandfather was once a Sith Lord who took over the entire galaxy. So somebody had to tell him that. And Snoke probably was the guy. I'm not too sure, though. There's a lot of unanswered questions there, too. Revan was long before this, wasn't he? Yes. Revan's been dead for over 1,000, maybe even 3,000 or 4,000 years before this. So Revan's been gone for a while now. But holocrons are around. And there's always, like, Sith put their essence into certain things. Look at the Clone Wars in Season 6 when Yoda goes and actually has a conversation with Darth Bane. that something like that could happen for sure. Something like that. But no, yeah, you're absolutely right. Revan's been gone for thousands of years. Thousands of years. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Tiffany says, I really feel like we're finally going to see Osha be powerful in the final episodes. She's been so weak throughout the series. Yes, I actually agree with that, Tiffany. May has been pretty powerful throughout this entire show, but Osha hasn't really done anything. And I got a feeling that she's going to come out of her shell and actually be powerful and use that power to maybe do some damage, for sure. All right, I'm out on that one. Can I get some good cuts, follow orders in the chat, please? Bum, bum. Damn, that's good. Damn, that's good. Okay. Where was I? Vincent says, does he grow back to his old form if he doesn't bathe for too long? Oh, you're saying if the waters are keeping him young, will he go back if he doesn't go in the waters after a while? I don't know. Or what if, like, when he dies, his body goes back to what it's supposed to look like and he just sort of disintegrates on the spot? That would be kind of cool. Yeah, maybe. Something like that. Colin says, who is climbing up the side of the mountain in the trailer? I think it's probably Soul, but you could probably guess somebody else, I guess. Rewatched episode 3. May and Osha aren't the only children on Brendock. What? I'm pretty sure they are. I haven't watched episode 3 in a few weeks, but I'm like 99.8% sure that they are. I don't know. Star Wars Santa thinks Mog is sus. I don't know. That seems a little far-fetched. I always love a good Santa theory, but I mean, that would be crazy. That would be a crazy one for sure. Harrison says, I think Vanestra has to survive in order to cover up everything and pin it on Soul, who will die. Because when she finds out that it was her Padawan, she'll feel responsible for what happened and hide the truth from the rest of the Jedi Order. I do like that theory quite a bit, actually. There is a big thing that has to happen in these last 2 episodes, and that is, how does this end up not coming back to the Jedi Council? Because the Jedi think that the Sith have been extinct for 1,000 years by the time of the prequel trilogy. This is not 1,000 years before the prequel trilogy. So somehow this information of the Sith returning can't make it to the Jedi Council. Meaning, Soul, currently is the only Jedi who knows, has to die. And if it is true that Vanestra is the master to Qimir, then it's possible that Vanestra could be the one who covers it all up. I do like that theory quite a bit. I really do. Indeed. Leo says, Qimir has to be Vanestra's former apprentice because Vanestra had said that May had been trained by a Jedi who was Qimir. I think Vanestra was only, like, guessing that May could have been trained by a Jedi. Because how else would she have been able to kill Jedi if she wasn't trained by one? I think that was just the sort of explanation that they had. Because the Jedi haven't been around for so long that it was the only explanation that they have, really. B-Man, what's up? Cow Edit says, can't wait for episode 7. Me either. Did Yord almost turn to the dark side? Well, he definitely turned. Too soon? No, I don't think he turned to the dark side. But he definitely turned his head quite a bit. Just Jordan says, Master Soul is wearing a deep fake mask when he takes Darth... Wait. He's wearing a deep fake mask. He's been Darth Plagueis this entire time. Oh my God. No. No, that's definitely not true. I thought Osha and May are the only children in the Coven. I think so too. Mike, we see a speeder chase in tonight's episode too. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So I don't know what trailer that scene is in though. I really have no idea. Which trailer? Ooh. Interesting. Whoa, that was loud. Is it this one? I don't think it is. I'm not going to be able to find it. But yes, there is a speeder chase through the forest of Brendock that will be happening in the flashbacks tonight too. Yeah. Greetings from the great state of Texas. Nice, Nicholas. What's up? How we doing? From Spain? Whoa, where's everybody at tonight? We're all over the world today. All over the world today. So why is there so much guilt from Sol? Because he's been lying. He's been lying his entire life. Or not his entire life, but he's been lying for the last 20 years of his life to Osha and to the Jedi Order about what happened on Brendock. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. For sure. Whoa, Maine, Canada, Australia, Mexico, Alabama, nice. Chile? That's pretty cool. The UK, of course. Got a bunch of UKians. Texas, nice. Pretty damn cool. Okay, where were we? There is nothing they can do to make this show work. It is bad. Huh, let's think about that one.
Incorrect.
Liam Neeson says maybe the show ends with the Jedi discovering a Sith holocron of Revan on it. But what's the point of that? Like, just for fun? What's the point of that? You know? What's the point of that? Is WI Wisconsin? I'm not too sure. Mando United says, I think May won't be changed over anytime soon. I agree with that. I don't think May's going to be brought to the light side anytime soon. But if that's the case, and Osha does get sent to the dark side, that means you now have Qimir and both the twins on the dark side. Both the twins. Chatting from Mustafar, chatting from Brendock. Oh, wow. You guys are really far away. Yeah. Howrunner. No, we just got out of the bottom. Are you kidding me? Hang on. Scrolling back up. Oh, where was I? Schnikes. That space scene will probably be the opening of episode 8. Yeah, I probably think that's probably true too. The power of many is probably the worst line in Star Wars. I don't know why that got memed on so hard. Germany, nice. I don't know why that got memed on so hard. I honestly just didn't even think twice about it. Like, that was the ritual that they went through for the Ascension ceremony. And it never really crossed my mind until I was on Instagram or wherever I was, TikTok maybe. And I saw that meme over and over and over again, like the power of many, the power of many. I was like, what's going on? I don't know. There's a lot of bad lines in Star Wars. Somehow Palpatine returned. They fly now. I don't know if it's even in the conversation, but maybe. Maybe. Rob says, what's up, Rob? It all has something to do, with the big device that the witches have that drew attention. They drew attention to it in that third episode, but nobody seems to be talking about that. That big device that you're talking about, it kind of just has, I think it's just powering their home. So when it blows up, obviously that's a big deal because that explosion is sort of just the end-all be-all of the witch's fortress there. So I don't, yes, it's probably important. I just don't know if it's as important as you probably think it is. Dodger says, I reckon they end up crashing on Brenock, going through the ice asteroid ring moon above it. Yeah, I think so too. It'll probably be a crash landing for sure. The curly-haired Jedi was powerful. He could kill some witches. I don't know how powerful he was. He was a Padawan in this situation. I think we're going to see Indara and Sol and Kelnaka slicing, I guess, and Torben, but he's probably not as powerful as the others. Slicing and dicing some witches tonight. Yeah. I think so. One day I hope we see Nick Cage in Star Wars as an unhinged Sith Lord. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Brian says, if we get more stupid crackling from these witches. Crackling? What do you mean? Mando United says, I think the Sith killed the witches and the Jedi saw it and just let it happen. Because they thought it was the right thing to do and now they feel guilty about it. But if they saw the Sith killing witches, they would have had to tell somebody about the Sith being there. I don't think so. I actually don't think the Sith are involved in anything that happened on Brendock. I don't. As much as people would love it to be, I just don't think so. Yeah. Tyler says, let's go F them witches up. You're probably going to see that happen tonight for sure. Yeah. Fearless says, Mike, please explain how and why Anakin was created, please. Well, Fearless, I'll answer it like this. The canon explanation that we have so far, we don't know. We have no idea. Anakin's birth has not been explained in canon Star Wars. However, there are theories and there are Legends explanations, like I explained earlier, where Plagueis in Legends was manipulating the midichlorians with the help of Palpatine, using some Sith alchemy, Sith magic stuff. And the Force rebelled in creating the Chosen One, Anakin Skywalker. There's also some theories going around that Palpatine himself had some influence on it, or maybe he was just created out of thin air. Like, there really is no canon set explanation for it. It's almost like Yoda's species. It's something in Star Wars that has to remain a mystery, or at least have some mystery behind it, because that's what makes it cool. That's what makes the conversations keep going. I just bit my tongue.
This is where the fun begins.
And I clicked the wrong button.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I'm about to go dark side right now. Hang on. Where was I? Tiffany says, weren't the witches' eyes black when they were doing the weird rock thing? Weird rock thing? Weird rocking thing, though? I'm not too sure. I should probably go rewatch episode 3 before tonight's episode. Cal says, the Jedi may have been chasing someone in that space scene. Maybe they were after someone who has led them to Brendock. It would be wild if they end up on Brendock for some sort of different reason. No, it'll probably be for this massive showdown. But here's what I'm talking about when I say I know for a fact that we're going back to Brendock. There was this behind-the-scenes photo of Soul, current-day Soul, not flashback Soul, current-day Soul, from before the show even aired, where we see a... Oh, and it's not going to load. Oh, here we go. Where we see a current-day Soul with longer hair and a sort of overgrown Brendock look here. Because this is clearly Brendock behind him. This is a behind-the-scenes photo. As you can see, the lightsaber's not done yet. And Soul's got the same rip in his shirt that he had in his robes that he had in the last episode. So we're going back to Brendock, probably in the finale. So this is probably from the finale. Yeah. That's where we're going to end this whole story at. And he's got his lightsaber up, so he's ready to fight. I don't know who he's fighting, whether it's May, Osha, Qimir, whoever. I don't know. I was thinking about doing call-ins today. What do you guys think about that? I was thinking do some call-ins with the Discord. If you guys are not yet in the Discord, there's a link in the description below to a Discord called The People Who Love Star Wars. I think because my voice is going away, I think if I can just allow you guys to talk for a little bit, that'd be fan-freaking-tastic. I think we're going to do that. Let me open up the stage in the Discord. So if you're not yet in that Discord, go join it. So we'll do some call-ins, and we'll get some of your guys' opinions and theories on what's going to go down in this episode tonight. So I'll leave that stage open. If any of you want to join, you just got to join in there and raise your hand, and we'll do that for a little bit as well. Rebel Smith says, accept/honesty just doesn't fit with the theme going on. I think episode 7 will be titled Fate, tying into episode 3, which is Destiny. Ooh, interesting. I kind of like that. I kind of like it. I really do. This episode's going to be interesting tonight. That's for damn sure. Jackie was too emotional in her fight, but nevertheless, she put up a good fight. Yeah, you could tell her emotions were coming out at the end, sort of just trying to survive. Where's the Discord? There's a link in the description below. So if you click on the description of this live stream right now, there's 2 links, one to become a member and one to join the Discord. So yeah, you can go from there. And I see a bunch of you now in the call-ins portion. You just have to click raise your hand so I can click on you. Yeah. Can you tell me about Force healing? I can explain Force healing. Force healing was not what you saw at the end of episode 5. I can almost 110% guarantee that. A lot of fans were extremely confused about that. Some people are still, to this day, fighting me about that, but he does not force heal Osha. That's why she wakes up in episode 6 with bandages and blood on her side. I'm not mad. You're mad. Force healing has only been used by select few amount of Jedi in the entire history of Star Wars. In recent times, we've seen Grogu and Rey use it, but that's about it. It's a very difficult Force ability to use. There's a bunch of different Force abilities that only select Jedi are able to use. You look at animal control or animal taming, whatever you want to call it. You see characters like Cal Kestis, Ezra Bridger, Ahsoka Tano be able to wield that ability, and even some others. But not everybody has the ability to do that. Force Echo, which you've seen with Vanestra Rowe in the last episode, Ahsoka in the Ahsoka series, Cal Kestis again. There's a few people who can do that as well. There's different abilities that different Jedi have. Yeah. Alex, what's up? Yeah. Hopefully that helped. Force healing is a very rare ability. That's for damn sure. Yeah. Nick says, I hope that Soul goes full dark side. Li Jiancha has been by far the best actor in there. I don't know about by far. Manny Jacinto has done an incredible job too, and so is Amanda Steinberg, but he has been incredible. Lee has been absolutely insane. When you think about the fact that he learned English for this role, it's just wild. Absolutely wild. But you hope he goes dark side? I don't know. Maybe you'll see the dark side come out of him like you did in episode 5 where he was just going really tapping into that anger. But I don't know if you'll see him really go full dark side. Thomas says that's probably Soul spying on the witches in episode 3. Yeah, I think that's probably him climbing the side too. Kim says, when is this episode going to be available? I feel like it should have come out last night. Now, it comes out every Tuesday, depending on where you are in the world, as we clearly have people from all around the world. For me, it comes out at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For Pacific Time, it's 6 p.m., and you kind of just go from there. So right now, it's in about 6 hours or 5 hours and 45 minutes. And that's for all over the world. So 5 hours and 45 minutes from now is when the episode will air. Yeah. Leo says, Qimir could have killed the witches and then possessed Kelnaka to distract the Jedi while he goes and saves May. That is tough. I kind of like that. I don't know. We'll see. Let me break the Vampire Diaries down for you. Witches, witch covens, linking spells, coven twins. The Vampire Diaries? I don't know what that is. Rebel Smith says, remember the eclipse? I think the blue moon had the vertical rings. I do remember that. All right, let me look up that. Let me look that up for a second. Let me look it up. The Acolyte eclipse. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, so this was the eclipse from episode 3 when the ceremony was going on. And you can see this massive ring going up and down here around one of the planets. That's probably the ring that we're seeing. I guess I don't have it pulled up. That's probably the ring you're seeing the two ships flying through. Souls and probably Qimir's ship flying through that ring right there. And that probably means we're coming back to Brenock. Indeed. Tony says, episode 8 will be our first time seeing 2 pairs of masters and apprentices fight. It could be the first time we see that happen. We don't know for sure, but yes, absolutely, and that would be awesome. That would be fan-frickin-tastic. Bro went from a drug guy to a Sith. I believe he was a Sith before, but yes, he was hiding as one, for sure. Colin says, glad I found a YouTuber. Oh, it went away. Sorry, Colin. No, I'm just kidding. What the hell? What is going on? What? Damn it. Colin says, glad I found a YouTuber respectful to the Acolyte. I'm sick of all the rage baiting. Well, first of all, I appreciate that. It is very easy to do. But yeah, I'm not too upset about the people who, of course, are just using hate to get clicks. That's just always been there. I'm more so upset about the lying, especially with the first 3-4 episodes of this show, just straight up people lying about facts in Star Wars. That's what kind of got on my nerves. But honestly, I just don't listen to any of it. We just keep doing our own thing, you know? Who cares? Who cares? We have fun here, don't we? Who cares what anybody else thinks? Kay says, also, romance and such has been such a key part of Star Wars, and people acting like Osha and Qimir dynamic is something new or something. Yeah, I mean, you've had the love triangle of Luke, Leia, and Han, pause, from the original trilogy. Like, that was a thing. I was sitting down and watching A New Hope the other day, and there's a scene in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon where Leia and Han are having a conversation, and Leia storms out, and Luke comes in, and Leia's like, you got to tell your friend there to whatever. And Luke sits down and says, what do you think about her, the princess? And he clearly likes her. And then Han's like, oh, you know, she's not that bad. And there's like this whole love triangle tension thing, but we don't know at that point that they're brother and sister, and they don't know either. It was his sister? No. He kissed his sister? What is God? No. Calm down. But there's always been sort of that love triangle type, lovey-dovey stuff in Star Wars. Of course, the obvious one is Anakin and Padme in the prequel trilogy. But yeah, people act like this Qimir and Osha thing is something new. Nicolas Cage must play a Gungan. I learned this the other day. Did you guys know this? Did you guys know? Wait, Spain just scored a goal. What are we watching here? What are we watching here? No. Did you guys know that Michael Jackson was almost up for the role of, or almost got the role of Jar Jar Binks? Imagine. And he wanted to play it like prosthetic makeup too, not CGI. Imagine Michael Jackson as Jar Jar Binks. That would have been something. Okay, where was I? Wait, what? Okay. Saddens me to see the amount of blind hate for this show when the show is actually pretty good. And it's a good Star Wars story. I could not agree with you more. It honestly is sad to me that there's a lot of fans, normie fans, for lack of a better word, that are completely turned off by this show because of what people are saying about the show that isn't even true. Like, that's just what's insane to me. Like, episode 5 specifically is some of the best Star Wars we've ever seen. And some normie fans, for lack of a better word, are never going to see it just because of the conversation around this show being so bad when it's not. Like, we're just sitting here lying to everybody. I don't know what it is. Obviously, the massive bomb that is the ranking for this show, it sits at like a 13 on Rotten Tomatoes or something, an audience score. That happened before the show even aired, before the show even came out. And fans are going to look at that and go, I don't want to watch this. This has a 13 on Rotten Tomatoes. So that's a big problem, for sure. I predict that the Bith Sith is not a myth. Easy for me to say. Yeah, I hope not. Tenebris would be cool. For sure. Those witches don't seem dead, though. I wonder if it's all a plot against the Jedi. They seem pretty dead to me. They're all laying there dead. Yeah. Episode 5 was the best Star Wars I've ever seen. That's not what I said. I said it was one of the best things we've seen from Star Wars, which is completely different. The best Star Wars I've ever seen is Revenge of the Sith. And that's like pretty not even close. But the second thing would be Empire. And then I'd probably go into episodes of shows like Mando season 2, episode 5, Boba Fett episode 6, Ahsoka episode 5, this episode, Rogue One, Return of the Jedi, A New Hope. Yeah. Indeed. Mike, drink some water. Your mouth is going to get a metallic taste. Yes, maybe. I don't know what that means, but sure. I'm dying over here. I apologize, guys. I must sound stupid right now with this stuffy nose and my throat's all dry. But we got to do what we got to do. We got to do what we got to do. Yeah. Indeed. How and why? You know this is sci-fi / fantasy, right? Let your imagination run wild and enjoy. Exactly. Let people have fun, you know? Yeah, I know. Is it 6 o'clock yet, Mike? No. We got still another 5.5 hours till this show ends. Yeah, show airs. Sorry. Harrison says, to add to people. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. I forgot I opened up the call-ins thing on the Discord. If anybody was raising their hand in there, I apologize. I completely neglected that. If you guys want to do call-ins, that stage is still open. You just got to come in and request to raise your hand. My brain just broke and I forgot about that. So if you want to do call-ins, that is still open, and I'll keep an eye on it this time. I'll try, at least. Yeah. To add to people's Tenebrous rumors, yes, the character is Legends, but the name, like Darth Revan, is actually Star Wars canon. That is true. Revan is canon. Plagueis is canon, too. Obviously, have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? That is canon, too. Tenebrous, on the other hand, is not. Dom says, Kelnaka and Torben got mind-controlled by Mother Anisea. Should be interesting to see what they use them for. Well, I think they're just going to have them fight each other. They're going to mind control Kelnaka to fight against the other Jedi, just so that they don't get the blood on their own hands. Tyler says, yeah, didn't they use the Wookiees' black eyes in a promo? These witches are controlling the Jedi. Yes, they did. And we watched it earlier, for sure. Indeed. Yoda had to preserve his species in some way? Yeah, well, Grogu didn't come out of nowhere. The scene where Osha and May's mom say to block her attack, Qimir is the one that blocks it. He's behind the crates. I don't think so. No. May blocks it. Chris says, finally, I can't wait for this garbage to end. I appreciate it, Chris. C. Lee says, why did Kelnaka have those symbols that the witches had on his walls? That's a great point. I actually almost forgot about that. In Kelnaka's sort of Shrek swamp on Kofar, he has the witches' symbols carved into the walls. What's going on there? Another question that needs to be answered for sure. Yeah. Tony says, my headcanon is that Yoda's race is all Darksiders, but Yoda's not Darkside. Neither is Yaddle, and neither is Grogu. And those are the three of Yoda's species that we've seen in Star Wars. What? Yeah, no? UV Clip says, Mike, is Jude Law's character in Skeleton Crew a Jedi? If so, that means that he survived Order 66 too? Also, have you seen the leaked Lego sets for Skeleton Crew? I did. Somebody sent those in the Discord. I did see those. But is his character a Jedi? That is not confirmed, but we assume that he is a Jedi because we see him wielding the Force in the trailer. Or the leaked trailer, I should say, from last year's celebration. Yeah. Yeah. What if Mother Talzin brings Soul's squad back to life? Can you imagine zombie Yord? I don't know if Mother Talzin's around in all of this. I don't know if she's even old enough, honestly. I'm not too sure. Tracy says, just pop it in now. I feel like the Zabrak mother Coral, of the twins had something to do with this. If I remember correctly, in the god-awful third episode, oh God, they never showed her body with the rest. Honestly, Tracy, I think you're right. I've gone back and rewatched that third episode, or at least that death scene, quite a bit, and I've zoomed in and looked around. I can't make out if any of those dead bodies are Mother Coral or not. So it's possible that she either died in a different room or she survived the events of what happened on that. Yeah. They retconned everything. Chris, I got a really good question for you. What did they retcon? This Acolyte show has yet to retcon a single thing. The only thing that's retconned something was Ahsoka last year and Tales of the Jedi the year before. In the Book of Boba Fett as well. And the things that they retconned were tiny little details like Yoda's lightsaber being destroyed on Coruscant in a canon comic. But that wasn't the case because Luke offers Grogu Yoda's lightsaber. This Acolyte show has not touched canon at all, or altered canon, I should say, at all. Yeah. I'm interested to see what he has to say because there hasn't been a single thing. They retconned the Sith appearing early. Well, Chris, let's talk about that. The Jedi, Ki-Adi-Mundi specifically, in The Phantom Menace says the Sith haven't been around for 1,000 years, Chris. We know that's not true. We know for a fact that's not true. The Sith have been around for a long time before that. A long time during that, too. They were just in the rule of two where they didn't reveal themselves to the Jedi. And yes, you're correct that Qimir calls himself, or he says that the Jedi would refer to him as a Sith, but he killed everybody in that forest except for Sol. And Sol has yet to go back to the Jedi or anything either. So nothing, so far, has been retconned. Yes, the next 2 episodes could go and go kill the entire canon of Star Wars. But what I'm saying here is that we're 6 episodes in, and so far, nothing in the Star Wars canon has been altered. Not a single piece of any of it. We good? We good. Okay. Why is Lord of the Rings fans never ask where dwarves and elves come from? They know how to approach the genre. Star Wars needs to train the fandom how to watch. I think Star Wars fans and Lord of the Rings fans, although there's extremely... Oh, hang on. Somebody... Oh, never mind. I think Lord of the Rings fans and Star Wars fans are extremely different, obviously, because they're 2 completely different franchises. But when it comes to Lord of the Rings, almost... It's not that they don't have answers to those questions. It's more so... This is actually really tough, because my Lord of the Rings knowledge is very small. But from what I gather, Middle-earth is just Earth before Earth. Yes? The elves and the dwarves just exist there. When it comes to Star Wars, yes, Yoda's species doesn't have an origins, but almost every other one does. Yeah. So it's a little bit different because Star Wars is more explained, I think. But, yeah. I get you. Chris says, except Ki-Adi-Mundi's birthday. They changed his birthday on Wikipedia. Well, guess what, Chris? He never had a canon birthday. So again, you're being lied to. And I'm not like mad at you at all, Chris, and I'm not mad at anybody who's saying that this is being reckoned. You're just being lied to. And it's sad, but I apologize for it. But it's not what's really going on here. Ki-Adi-Mundi never had a birthday. It was Legends. And Legends, as we know, clearly is not canon Star Wars. So that, I think, comes from just the top, so to speak, of just people lying to you. Yeah. Where was I? The Dark Savior says, yeah, actually May and Osha both are quite boring. Qimir and Sol are definitely the best characters. I agree with you that they're the best, that they are the best characters, Sol and Qimir, that is. But I wouldn't call May and Osha boring by any means. May comes out of the gate hot, killing Jedi, and she's sort of petered off, but it's kind of like they've switched places. Osha, I didn't really care about at all at the beginning, and now I care way more about her. May, I cared way more about at the beginning, and then it just petered out from there. So I care way more about Osha now than I do May, and at the beginning it was the reverse. But I agree with you that Sol and Qimir have stole this show. They are the best around. Insurgent Ewok says, the unarmed witches used mind control on the Jedi, scaring the Jedi into killing the witches. And the Jedi broke the code by killing the unarmed people. Interesting. That does make a lot of sense, because they are unarmed. Actually, they do have bow and arrows and witch abilities, but maybe they are unarmed, for sure. Indeed. The rat creature is the best character. Basil? Gotta love Basil. Basil gave us his best moves in the last episode, and it really got me hyped up. Boring is subjective. Absolutely. So people who come in here and say this show is boring, that's completely like your interpretation of the show, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to try and change your mind. Your pal Joe, what is up? Darth Basil? Oh, no. Soul's been my favorite character so far. All right, let's ask the class. What is your favorite character of this show? For me, it was Soul, and it quickly became Qimir. Like Qimir, or the Stranger, I should say. The Stranger, or Qimir, or Darth Zipperface, or Smilo Ren, whatever you want to call him, he's my favorite character. It was Soul for a long time, and Soul is a close second. But for me, it's Qimir. Look at all the Qimirs in this chat right now. That's wild. That's a lot of Qimirs. Soul, then Qimir. That's respectable. I like that. I like that. I like that. Qimir's a great actor. That's for sure. Manny Jacinto. Round of applause. Yeah. Basil. Gotta give some love to Basil for sure. Not my favorite character by any means, but yeah. I think... Wait, what? Where was I? Oh, here we go. What if they resurrect Kelnaka and Qimir killed him again, but with a force choke? What? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? I wish the review metrics were accurate. Me too, but that's sort of the flaw with this whole damn thing. Like, this show, before it was even released, had a 13 on Rotten Tomatoes. That's the flaw, and that's a big issue. But, I mean, I don't know how you'd even go about fixing that. I have no clue. I think, honestly, it starts at the top. It starts at Disney. It starts at Lucasfilm. It starts with their PR team. I don't know how they would do it, but that's why I don't work for them, I guess. Yeah. Christopher says, the infamous kiss is proof that Lucas didn't plan out the original trilogy the way people think. Oh yeah, the original trilogy was not planned out from the beginning. There was probably a set, like, very loose plan. Like, this is, Vader was going to die at the end probably and save the day, like, type deal. Maybe it was even planned from the beginning that he was his father. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of it was just like a do it as you go. And the reason that they could do that is because they had George Lucas, and he was such a freaking genius that he was able to do that. Just go with the flow and create this masterpiece that is Star Wars. I'm sure when he came to the prequels, he had more of a set plan from start to finish. But even still, I'm sure a lot of stuff was just spitballed as they went with the prequel trilogy as well. Yeah, so if anybody's telling you that the original trilogy was planned out from start to finish, that's just not true. Yeah. Anakin's whole arc is about love. Yeah, it is, for sure. It is true. If Qimir is like 100 years old, a bit of problematic age gap there, or is it just me? Oh, yeah, I mean, if it's Qimir and Osha, that, yeah. Yes. Yes. Ewok says, theory, Qimir killed the witches by blowing up the machine in the fortress. Maybe, but the explosion isn't what killed the witches, because the explosion, Osha and May were right next to that explosion. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the explosion is what's killing the witches. Seeing Jar Jar moonwalk isn't the craziest image. Yeah. Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, it would have been great. It would have been like Thriller. It would have been. It would have been awesome. And Leonardo DiCaprio as Anakin. That's true. Leo was up for the role as Anakin too, at one point. And Michael Jackson wasn't as popular back then. Oh, that is not true. I mean, he was always popular, but not as controversial. Yeah, he wasn't as controversial back then. That's true. But he was one of the biggest people on the planet at that point, before the prequel trilogy, the late 90s. Yeah. Qimir used the mind control to have the Jedi kill the witches? I don't think so. I think the witches used the mind control on the Jedi to kill themselves or kill each other. And then, yeah, they went from there. Indeed. I'm loving the Acolyte. A new perspective on the dark side. Yeah, I'm loving the Acolyte too. So, hey, that's all we can ask. I'm not here to change your opinion on anything. I'm just here to speculate and have predictions. That's why it's called predictions for the Acolyte episode 7. Flashbacks? Runtimes? That's the name of the stream, not I'm here to convince you to love the Acolyte show. That's not what we're doing here. Thomas says, Revenge of the Sith is my favorite as well. Love the music and the duels. Oh, yeah. Revenge of the Sith is goated. For sure. For sure. A New Hope is your favorite? A New Hope is goated. Of course, it's the OG, so you can't go without it. But like literally everything we have today is because of it. It's true. Whoa, look at this take. I so disliked Anakin and Obi-Wan's last fight. Worst ever. All the leaping and balancing and nothing to it with lightsabers. Wow. I personally think that Anakin Obi-Wan fight is one of the greatest. Wait, what? Oh, this is a different person. Sorry. That is a bold take right there. That is a bold take for sure. Christopher says, it means when you bite yourself. What? I don't know what that means, but sure. Anthony says, I personally think the Anakin versus Obi-Wan fight is one of the greatest fights in cinema history. Like everything, the planet, the destruction, the emotion behind it. Yeah, I agree more with Anthony's take than I did with the other one. I think Anakin versus Obi-Wan is probably the greatest fight in Star Wars. No, not probably. It is the greatest lightsaber fight in Star Wars. But what is your favorite lightsaber fight in Star Wars, chat? I got a few at the top. I mean, that one obviously. It's tough. Duel of the Fates, of course, which is Maul versus Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. You got to go to some animated ones. The Twin Sons, Maul versus Obi-Wan, is short but sweet and great. It has so much emotion behind it. Then you go to even animated ones that are awesome, like Maul versus Ahsoka on Mandalore in Season 7. Or you could even go to Ahsoka versus Vader in Rebels. You've, of course, got to have in there Ahsoka versus Anakin in The War Between Worlds in Ahsoka. Luke versus Vader in Empire. Luke versus Vader in Return of the Jedi. There's just so many great lightsaber duels. Tough. Tough. Yeah. Yoda versus Palpatine's good too. Yoda versus Dooku. I think Yoda versus Dooku is extremely underrated. Yeah. I want Darth Plagueis so bad. Me too. My favorite fight is Palpatine versus Thanos. Okay. That's a good one. Yeah. Maul versus Ahsoka. Yeah, that one's incredible. Kanan versus the Inquisitor, the Grand Inquisitor. It's underrated, for sure. Underrated. Kylo Ren versus Rey. Well, which one? The fights in Force Lightning in episode 8. What? Force Lightning in episode 8? You mean episode 8 like The Last Jedi? Force Lightning in episode... Oh, Snoke's Force Lightning? Is that what you're talking about? Windu versus Jango. It's not really a lightsaber fight, but it is a fight. Sure. Vader versus Obi-Wan in the original. Vader versus Obi-Wan in the Kenobi show. That's pretty, yeah. Palpatine versus Maul and Savage. That's underrated. In the Clone Wars, that is pretty great. Episode 5 of The Acolyte. You got to put it in the conversation for sure. Ahsoka versus Morgan Elsbeth. That doesn't get talked about enough. Ahsoka versus Morgan Elsbeth was a great fight. Yeah. Obi-Wan versus Grievous is great too. Baylan versus Ahsoka. Awesome. Yeah. That's true. Ahsoka versus Vader, I Am No Jedi. That's great, of course. So many great ones. So many. All right, now that we've kind of getting off the topic of the Acolyte a little bit, we will come back to the Acolyte predictions at the end of the stream, but I want to talk about this because this is some pretty big news here. There are talks now that we are getting a new animated series from Star Wars, officially. So Lucasfilm is now hiring for a new animated show. So let's read this. A job posting looking for production coordinator has confirmed that Lucasfilm have started working on a new TV show. Animated, too. A new animated TV show. Posted on the official Join the Force X account, it reads, Lucasfilm is hiring a production coordinator to assist the animation and lighting department recording and processings from pre-production throughout post-production with an animated television series. That is a long description, but it does confirm that Star Wars is now currently working on a new animated television series. This is huge. Now, we don't know what it is. We have no idea. Vader versus the younglings. Oh, my God. We don't know what it is. We don't know at all. Like, there's no indication of what it could be about, but we can speculate. It could be anything from a Clone Rebellion show to a Hidden Path show with Asajj Ventress, maybe Cal Kestis. It could be Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple show. It could be a High Republic show. It could be an Acolyte spinoff. It could be anything. It could be a sequel, a sequel trilogy characters animated show. What do you guys want this to be? What do you guys want the next animated Star Wars show to be? What do we think? What do we think? Let me, whoa. Yes, new animated show. Oh, yeah. An Asajj Ventress story. I'd be down for an Asajj Ventress story because that would connect to the Hidden Path. It would connect to Quinlan Vos. It would be pretty cool. Secret love child between Obi-Wan and Satine. Do it, you cowards. Oh, my God. I would be down for that. I want an animated show between The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones following Obi-Wan and young Anakin Skywalker. That would be pretty cool. I mean, really fill in all the gaps, of the prequel trilogy. That would be pretty wild. Broom Boy from The Last Jedi. A whole show about him. I'd watch that. Knights of the Old Republic. Okay, let's talk about Knights of the Old Republic for a second. I don't think so. And actually, I don't want it to be. A Knights of the Old Republic show would be incredible. But animated, do you want to go to the Old Republic in animation first? I feel like they should start the Old Republic out in a trilogy first. Long before they go to animation. But we'll see. What's the new show? Well, we don't know, Harry. We're kind of just speculating. We do know for sure that there is going to be a new animated show. We just don't know what it is. High Republic animated series. It could be, but again, I feel like there's better options. Yeah. A Clone Rebellion show that takes a Takes of the Clones show. I'd love a Clone Rebellion show. They left it open-ended with Rex and with Echo after the Bad Batch series. And of course, Commander Cody is still off on the run somewhere. So they could do that for sure. Yeah. Acolyte spinoff, you could see it for sure. Sushi making with old Crosshair. David, I would watch the hell out of that show. A Qimir animated show would be pretty damn cool. Cal Kestis making a step back. Wait, Cal Kestis would be a step back for him. He needs to be in live action. I agree with that, but I wouldn't mind seeing Cal Kestis in animation first. I do want to see Cal Kestis in live action, though. An Omega series, I don't know if they left room for an Omega series. Because at the end of the Bad Batch Season 3, Omega leaves to go join the Rebellion, and she's a lot older. We've already seen a Star Wars Rebels series. So there's not much room to tell a story there with just Omega. But hey, never throw it out of the realm of possibility. I don't care, Mike, as long as it's as good as the Bad Batch. That's the thing. You're coming off of some bangers. You're coming off of the Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, the Bad Batch. It's got to be a pretty good story idea. And nobody that I've seen so far has really mentioned Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple, and I think that's the best place to go. I really think it is, because you can continue the story of Luke Skywalker with a young Ben Solo, with Han, with Leia, and continue the stories of those original trio and Chewie and Lando, and have all those cast continue their story for 5, 6, 7 seasons of an animated show without having to recast. I mean, you'll have to cast voice actors, but you don't have to recast the actors themselves to have them on screen. And you could do the same thing you did with the Clone Wars for the prequel trilogy that you could do with the sequel trilogy with Luke's Jedi Temple. Have us grow attached to all of the different Padawans and apprentices and Jedi Knights at his Jedi Temple, and then see them all die in an Order 66 level event, but show Palpatine's pull on Luke and Ben, and show Ben Solo's fall to the dark side, show the Knights of Ren, show the underworld of Star Wars at that current time period. I think it's a great, hugely open-ended opportunity to give us a Luke Skywalker Jedi Temple show. I say we pull this up because, oh my God, this poll has over 400 votes. With over 400 votes, 73% of you say yes, Venestra is Qimir's former master, which I agree with. But let's pull this up. What do you want the next animated Star Wars show to be? Here are your options. Clone Rebellion, Luke's Jedi Temple show, Luke's Jedi Temple. Whoops. I can only have 4 options, so I'm going to go Asajj Ventress show. And then last one is just other, because you can do anything other. Because I only get 4 options. Let's see. What do we think? Do a show about the Delta Squad in the Bad Batch went into missions during the Clone Wars. Again, to make another full animated series about just another Clone Wars mission, I think is a little strange. I think they're looking for a big time, multiple season television show. Wow, wait, what? Right now, Asajj Ventress show is winning this poll, with 37% has the majority. Wow. This is kind of crazy, actually. I did not expect that at all. Interesting. Not gonna lie, isn't the Mandoverse doing what the Clone Wars did for the prequels? Yes, true, in live action. But in animation, you have a lot more time to tell a lot more stories. Yeah, you do. For sure. And it could be multiple seasons, costs less, and allows you to tell stories with characters like Luke, Leia, and Han, which you really can't do much of in live action. I'm honestly not that interested in the fall of Luke's Jedi Temple. I think it was a very bad decision to have him make the same mistake, while in Legends, of course, he corrects the mistakes. Yeah, true. Legends Luke, a lot of fans love a lot more than canon Luke, but I think you can have Legends Luke be shown a little bit more in canon if you do this sort of show. And yes, like Nathan said, you can add in characters like Mara Jade and other Legends characters, not all, but other Legends characters. Obviously, you can't add like other children of Han and Leia when we know they don't have other children. Yeah. Indeed. Mace Windu passed as a show. Again, you could probably do that in just a quick little Tales of the Jedi story. You don't have to spend an entire multiple season animated series telling Windu's past. You know? They had their chance to do a Clone Rebellion. Yeah. I mean, they kind of set up a Clone Rebellion. Here's the thing. If you're going to do a Kyle Katarn, ooh, interesting. If you're going to do a Clone Rebellion spin-off show, then you're now doing a spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off. The Clone Wars is a spin-off of the prequel trilogy. The Bad Batch is a spin-off of that. And then this Clone Rebellion would be a spin-off of that. So you're spinning off the spin-off of the spin-off. Which would kind of be crazy. Yeah. And by the way, a Asajj Ventress show is still winning this right now, which is pretty wild to me. Yeah. Ooh, a young Palpatine show would be pretty wild. But I would rather that be live action, Connor. Yeah. Yeah. Luke only had a little training and not a lot of knowledge about the Jedi Order, so he was bound to make mistakes. Yes and no. Luke did get a lot of training from Yoda and from Obi-Wan. But he did start that training at 19. And yes, he's bound to make a lot of mistakes because he didn't really have that much help when creating his Jedi Temple. Yeah. Super Gaming Jay, what's up? Jay says, how's your day going? My day's going great, Jay. How's your day going? Yoda origin story? No. I want them to keep Yoda's origins secret. Yeah, that'd be great. Mark Hamill's also the GOAT when it comes to animation voice acting. That's true. So you can bring in Mark Hamill to do a bunch of different voices, for sure. Boba Fett would be great because the actor playing Boba has said he wants to do more. That's true. But he says he wants to do a second season of Boba Fett. But I'm sure he would want to voice some characters too. For sure. Anything with Ventress is goated in my opinion. Hey, I mean, I love Ventress too. Ventress is a great character. But an entire multiple season show with her? Chopper origin story. See, now we're talking. Mark Hamill as Darth Bane was badass. That's true. A Darth Bane animated show would be insane. It would be, but again, I want to see that in live action first. You know? Okay, now with all that being said, new animated show sounds amazing. Let's switch our gears before we get on out of here back to The Acolyte because the episode comes out in just 5 short hours. So let's talk about The Acolyte. Throw in your last minute predictions for episode 7 in the chat right now or forever not get those predictions out there, I guess. Gonk, a Star Wars story? I'd watch a Gonk Droids show. I would for sure. General Grievous origin story. But again, these are more shorts. These are more like Tales of the Empire, Tales of the Jedi type stories. Not full multi-season shows, you know? All right, throw in your final predictions for this Acolyte show, episode 7, that is. Are we getting flashbacks tonight? Are we not getting flashbacks tonight? I'm going to end this poll. So, it's a tie. 31% of you want the Luke's Jedi Temple show. 31% of you want the Asajj Ventress show. 22% are other, and 15% are Clone Rebellion. By the way, when we pulled that up at the end of the Bad Batch, the majority were the Clone Rebellion people. It's kind of switched gears there. All right, let's see some predictions here. Leo says, Qimir killed the witches and them. And them? Killed the witches? Interesting. We get answers tonight. That's what I like to hear. I want answers tonight. We've been getting questions after questions after questions and very few answers. Yes, last week we got the very big revelation that Qimir is a Jedi, but I want more answers. Yeah. Not sure what's going to happen tonight, but I'm super excited for the episode. I like that. Indara orders the attack on the witches, while she is the only one of the 4 who is not showing any regrets or guilt. That's true. She's not. Oh, Matt Keller. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars. Matt Keeler, sorry. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars, Matt. I appreciate that quite a bit at the Padawan level. I would have screamed it a lot louder, but I cannot today. I apologize, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Okay. Imagine some zombie witches. That would be crazy. Flashbacks with no new deaths until last episode. Okay, interesting. Qimir is Snoke. Okay. Only half the episode will be flashbacks for episode 7. Okay, then what's the other half? What's the other half then? Damn. Whew. I'm going to just have to go mute for the next 5 hours until the watch party. By the way, there is a watch party tonight at 8:45. Come by the watch party. So in 4 hours and 45 minutes, I'm just going to go mute so that I can keep my voice. I predict a 3-act structure. So this one should be good. Yeah, we're kind of in that 3rd act right now, for sure. Tales of the Sith, but it's Revan, Maul, Malagus, and Darth Basil. Okay, I'm down for that. Harrison says, I think the ritual the witches were doing was supposed to combine the twins into one person. Whoa, that's a crazy prediction. I like that. I predict we will get flashbacks and less answers, but more questions? No, Cal, we want more answers. The Sith and the Stranger were there all along in Brendock. Interesting. That would be kind of crazy. That will be crazy. Also, one more thing. Master Indara was on the ship by herself because she's not in many of the trailer promos for the Acolyte. I think she's there, but I think they're not showing what she's doing, which could be pretty interesting too. Jedi F up and don't intentionally kill the witches. That would be interesting. That would be a surprise to be sure. Soul will kill Vanestra? What? Because he knows that she's using the dark side and will resort to the dark side too? I don't know about that, but that's a pretty crazy theory if I do say so myself. Osha's memories of the night on Brendock have been manipulated by the Jedi to protect her from the Jedi's perspective. Osha isn't going to like the explanation when she finds out what happened that night. Osha's going dark side for sure. Pam Hill, what's up? She's going dark side for sure. Okay, I'm going to get on out of here. I appreciate all of you guys more than you will ever know. We had over 200 people almost this entire stream, so smash a freaking like on this stream if you have not yet. Let's see how many likes do we have. Okay, solid amount of likes. Can we smash a freaking like on your way out if you have not yet? Hit that subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video in my pretty face. I'll show up with a recommended feed of yours. Huge shout outs to Matt and David for the very generous super chats and memberships. I appreciate it more than you know. And I'll see you guys later, just in a few short hours, so we can watch this episode tonight together. We'll watch it together, we'll react together, we'll enjoy it together, and we'll break it down together. But until then, may the Force be with you. Oh, yeah. What a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. I appreciate every last one of you more than you will ever know. If you are not yet in that Discord, go join the Discord in the description below. I will see you guys all later tonight for this 7th episode of The Acolyte. 2 more episodes left. That's it. That's it. So I'll see you guys then. Hope you have a great rest of your evening, a great rest of your lives, and good night, everybody.